Hello everyone, I wanted to show you what the pour looks like now that we have it in the mold. I've got it a nice green color. Let's see if we can get that reflection out of there so you can see that actual gold highlight and color that we decided to put in there. I say we because my dad actually gave me the idea for it. He's like, hey, put some gold in there. And I was like, no, I just want to do green. But as I got into the pour, I'm like, hey, you know what? Some of those gold highlights might look really awesome in there. And they really do, especially down in this area here. As you can see, some of the epoxy is running over that middle island there that we have. So that's an issue, and I'll talk about that in just a couple of minutes. But the pour was pretty simple. Didn't have any issues really. Besides some leaking. As you can see back down here, I have blue painter's tape all across the edge there. That is the edge that I moved last night. I was up till about midnight last night, adjusting and tweaking, and I was trying to get it to 22.5 inches, which is where it should have been at. That way it gives me, about 1/8 of an inch on each side to be able to shave off and square up when everything is said and done. So I'm going to put it on pause, and we're going to talk about some of these issues more in depth. So what I got going on with the slab is two things, I think. First of all, I think moving the rail last night caused an issue. I should have taped it up a little bit better on the inside. I think that's where my problem was. I thought I had it good enough, but apparently I didn't. And so I felt last night that if it was going to leak, that's where it was going to leak at. And unfortunately, it has leaked. I'm hoping now that I have the leak stopped, I've added a bunch more tape. I've added painter's tape to it. Because my problem was the melamine board was getting so soaked in epoxy that the Tyvek tape wouldn't hold any adhesion to the melamine board. So the painter's tape actually, for some reason, has a bit better adhesion, and I was able to lay a few strips of that painter's tape down and then tape the Tyvek tape to the painter's tape. So I'm hoping, beyond all hope, let's hope that the leaks have stopped. If it does leak out, that's okay, because as I showed you just a minute ago, I've got a little bit too much epoxy in there, and I don't know why. Possibly because my calculations were off. The middle island piece was a very, very unique piece, and that piece actually sloped down at the bottom. So there was like this shelf at the top that is actually going to be the island piece. So I think possibly that my calculations were off on that. And I figured that I would be under, not have enough, because last night I also took one of the slabs that I had cut in half, one of the two boards there. I wasn't very happy with the results of what it was doing in the mold. It was a two-pronged problem. First of all, the mold board was not straight. It was actually a little bit warped in the middle. It was bowing in to the mold. So that was causing a problem. And then also the second problem was I did not get a good straight cut on my table saw. So that was a rookie mistake there. I'm going to try to learn from that and see what I can do differently. When I ran the calculations, Stone Coat Countertops has a great volume calculator on their website. It told me 3¼ gallons kits. So the Supercast is actually a 1.5 gallon kit. It's a 2-to-1 ratio. So 2 parts resin to 1 part hardener. And I actually only went through 2 whole kits and about a half of another kit, which doesn't make sense because I'm off almost an entire kit. So unless I was just reading it wrong. but I had equated it to about 3 1/4 kit. So I actually have a kit and a half left over, which is great because I've paid for it. You know, I'm not going to return it. I'm definitely going to use it. Going down the road, I have some other pieces that, and I'm looking over here to the side because you can't see them, but they're off camera. I have 2 or 3 more other slabs that are different dimensional cuts that I can definitely do some pretty unique stuff with. And I have one piece. Let me pause and I'll show it to you here in just a moment that I have a really great idea for. So I have this piece. It's really small. It's actually one of the pieces that was on the edge of the board. And I haven't given the measurement to it yet. I haven't put a tape on it to see what it is. But my idea for that is that I have a friend who lives out in California, Kentucky, and her husband's name's Kevin. And Kevin does laser etching on wood and stuff like that. And some of his stuff is actually pretty awesome looking. Kevin's really got a knack for it, and I would like to take that out to him and see if I can't have my family name put on that, and then, you know, actually cut down the wood a little bit and, you know, get that rounded edge off, and then, you know, bring it home and put a layer of, you know, epoxy on it and put it up in the house somewhere. I think that would be a really, really great idea. My family name is very important to me, especially as an only child. You know, there's not a whole lot of people in the United States with my last name, or even in Germany where our family is from, there's not a whole lot of people with our last name. So for me, I feel like I have a legacy that I have to live up to, and a legacy that I have to pass on. And I might not feel that way if I had brothers or sisters, you know, that would carry on the name. But for me to, you know, display the family name in the house, I think it's something, because now we actually have a nice house, and it, you know, not that I couldn't put it up in a not so nice house. I could there, but, you know, the place that we're in now, Dad and I, you know, we really enjoy it, and we want to make it our own. And, you know, one of the things that we're going to do is, you know, I'm going to make our own river table. I have a really awesome idea for that, using something called dragon glass. It's recycled glass that's been colored. It comes in green and blue and amber and clear and red and black, you know. So I want to get some of that and do what's called a lava table, where I would be using a red colored epoxy. And so my idea for that would, you know, be rather time consuming, I would say. Because I would really want that to be a 2 foot wide by 4 foot long table, similar to the one that I'm building here. I'm thinking of maybe doing hickory or walnut and just having a central channel, not having 2 channels like with this one here. So I hope that everything goes good tonight. I'm going to have to keep an eye on the mold to make sure that it doesn't continue to leak, because if it does, there's potential for it to entirely leak out overnight, and that would be rather emotionally and financially catastrophic for me. So we're going to see how it does. The colors that I used on it was green by a company called Polytech, I believe is what they were called. No, that's the name of it. The name of the company is called Alumilite. And Alumilite is the company that Stone Coat Countertops partnered with late last year, I believe it was. Maybe early this year. I think it was right around, you know, 4th quarter or maybe 1st quarter this year. And they've been able to introduce different and a more expansive listing of coloring additives to put into the epoxy. So Alumilite makes the green. When I ordered my initial kit last year and got the epoxy kit that I did my Galaxy Nebula portrait with, I got some gold and some green and black and, you know, a few other colors, sky blue, or no, actually I believe it's called Blue Earth. So I took the Rainforest Green, which is now Stone Coat has just called it Forest Green. It's gone, you know, through a renaming, but it comes out a darker color. I wouldn't say Hunter Green. That's not the real. I would say that it's probably a cross between Hunter Green and Olive Green. And so what I did in the pour was I did one pour where it was more regular Alumilite green and a little bit of forest green mixed in to darken it. And then on the next one, I reversed it and did more of the Rainforest Green and a little bit of the regular Alumilite green. And then I did one that was, you know, pretty even. That was, you know, almost equal amount of each. So there's a lot of dynamic coloring in it. So you'll definitely be able to see it on the ends. At least I'm hoping you'll be able to see it on the ends. It'll be different layers, you know, and so I didn't add the gold until the very last. I just drizzled it on top and swirled it in with basically a tongue depressor, because that's what they are, you know. No, I did not rob a doctor. I did not, you know, go and commit grand theft at a doctor's office. They sell those at Home Depot and Lowe's in the paint department. They're a little bit smaller and easier to use than the paint sticks for stuff like your 1 quart bucket. So I'm going to leave it at that. We're going to see how it goes. We'll take a look at it tomorrow, maybe make another quick video tomorrow and see what is going on with it. Hopefully no catastrophic failures. Hopefully success. So that's it for now. If you like the video, give me a thumbs up. And be sure and hit the subscribe button, and that'll notify you when I put new videos up. So until then, stay safe, and see y'all later.